Hello guys, welcome to my channel Dev Tech Great Banda. I am from India and my name is Devjit Bonik. So guys, today I am going to react another video. The video name is Top 10 Craziest Survivor Movements. The video is given by watchmojo.com. So guys, if you like my reaction, then please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon. You never miss any update. And also don't forget to subscribe watchmojo.com. They gave awesome videos. So guys, let's react. Start.
Not sure you can be for what comes next. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 craziest Survivor moments.
I stopped telling people because when people know that about you, that's sort of who you are.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at the most intense, odd, and unbelievable things to have ever occurred on this hit reality series over the years.
Stay strong.
You guys do what's right. You guys know what to do. Okay. You guys know what to do.
Number 10. Becky vs. Sundra Fire Challenge. Survivor Cook Islands.
We are in fact tied, 2 votes each. Big question, do either of you have the hidden immunity idol?
Before you join Survivor as a contestant, there are a few crucial skills you should practice at home until you've absolutely mastered them. Making a fire is one of them. Clearly, Becky and Sundra did not get that memo. After a deadlocked vote, the 2 women compete in a fire-making challenge to determine who goes home.
Neither person trying to make fire, first trying to build the structure.
To the utter shock and dismay of everyone watching, neither contestant was able to make fire with a coconut husk and flint. Somewhere past the 90-minute mark, Becky finally made a fire using matches after Sundra unsuccessfully burned through her own. It wasn't exactly a grand victory, but it was certainly cringeworthy and entertaining to watch.
That's gonna do it.
Number 9. Hashtag Immunity Train, Survivor Game Changers, Mamnutha Islands.
How about you, Sari? How confident are you about tonight's vote?
I feel as confident as the people around me that I can trust.
There have been many instances when a player has gone home with an immunity idol or an advantage unplayed, but the Game Changers were not going to let that happen. In one of the most topsy-turvy tribal councils ever, 3 of the remaining 6 players used a hidden immunity idol. Sarah jumped on the immunity train by using her legacy advantage.
Hey, Jeff. I've got a secret advantage, which is a legacy advantage.
And considering Brad had already won the individual immunity award, that left poor Sari. In a cruel twist, despite having no votes cast against her, she was sent home by default as the only one without an immunity advantage. And funnily enough, it was the first such occurrence in Survivor history. Game changer indeed.
It's bittersweet. However, I'm going out in grand style. It never happened before, and it just makes this experience that much more special for me.
Number 8. Caleb collapses. Survivor go wrong.
I'm gonna call.
No, don't do it.
You're gonna go too far, and then you won't have heat stroke.
There are a lot of factors at play in any season of Survivor, but one you should never underestimate is the heat. While doing a rigorous immunity challenge, the heat got the best of 3 players, including Caleb, who required medical attention after they began to show signs of heat stroke.
We're right here with you, buddy. You're in really good hands.
Caleb's was by far the worst, with his body temperature rising to 107 degrees, which made him pass out and become unresponsive. Wisely, the medical team pulled Caleb from the game, and he went on to spend 5 days in the ICU. Host Jeff Probst calls it one of the show's, quote, most frightening moments, and we'd have to agree.
It's a doctor's call. You pushed, brother. You pushed very hard. It took a toll.
Number 7. Randy plays Bob's fake idol. Survivor Gabon, Earth's Last Eden.
If anybody has the hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so.
It must be a pretty great feeling to walk into tribal council with the protection of a hidden immunity idol. But of course, that protection only works if it's a real idol. Before he reads the votes, Jeff asked if anyone had an idol to play, And feeling unsafe, Randy gave Jeff what he thought was a genuine hidden immunity idol. Unfortunately for him, the idol was actually a fake made by fellow contestant Bob.
I am thrilled that Bob found the idol. I'm especially thrilled that he's willing to give it over to me.
Randy's face was absolutely priceless when the truth was revealed to him, and he was sent home before he could really process what had happened. Well, at least he was right about thinking he was on the chopping block.
All votes cast against Randy will count.
Really crazy.
Number 6. Parvati plays 2 idols. Survivor, heroes versus villains.
I think it would be downright depressing to sit and watch green bananas turn yellow without my debaucherous little villain.
A hidden immunity idol means nothing if you don't know how to play it properly. But Parvati proved herself to be more adept than most. In one of the pivotal tribal councils of the Heroes vs. Villains season, Parvati used an idol that Russell gave her to save herself, before pulling out another one to save the members of her Villains Alliance. As a result, JT was voted out. The beauty of this move was that JT was the one who originally gave Russell one of Parvati's idols as a way to sway him to the Heroes Alliance. But it backfired, and that same idol ultimately resulted in him getting sent home.
JT, Trump spoken.
That's nice.
Time for me to go.
Good luck, fellas.
Number 5. Mike Scoopin falls in the fire. Survivor, the Australian outback.
What happened? Passed out, fell in the fire.
This show is nothing if not brutal. And we're not just talking about the competition. Sometimes simple hunger and exposure to the elements can take a player down. Such was the case when Mike lost consciousness and fell into the fire while trying to tend to it.
I was blowing on the fire and the smoke was right in my face, and I inhaled it. And I passed out.
Mike severely burned his hands in the process and immediately ran into the water to try to soothe his burn. Unfortunately, the injury was too severe, and he was ultimately sent home. His was the first medical evacuation in the show's history, and still one of the scariest to date.
Have it lie down there, mate. We'll come get you.
Number 4. Johnny Fairplay and the Dead Grandma Lie. Survivor Pearl Islands.
Sorry for that news. I'm sure everybody here is sorry.
I don't know. I can hope to win this and get some more information.
Survivors are expected to lie, cheat, and steal to stay in the game. But as John Dalton, also known as Johnny Fairplay, proved, some players take the lying aspect too far. As one of the show's most conniving players, Johnny used the loved one's visit as a way to further his gameplay when he got his friend to lie and say that his grandmother had died.
Oh, dude, that was good.
Huh?
That was good.
She died, dude.
He cried and got the other players to feel sorry for him, only to reveal in his confessional that his grandmother was, quote, home watching Jerry Springer. It was a bold move, and it shook up the game by showing that there truly were no limits.
So there's my autograph right in the center. There it is, the snake. This is a game for $1 million. I have one chance in my life at this. You should take every single advantage possible. If you don't, you're a fool.
Number 3. Eric gives up immunity. Survivor Micronesia.
I'm sorry. I am sorry. I just want to tell you that. If it means anything at all.
Winning immunity is everything in the game of Survivor, so it's rare that someone would give it up for another person, which is why Eric's move to give Natalie his immunity necklace is something we're still scratching our heads about years later.
There's so many things weighing on my mind. I've made a lot of mistakes in the past couple days, and I know that actions do speak louder than words. I want to give individual immunity to Natalie.
Eric was the lone man remaining, so Sari convinced the physical challenge champ to give away immunity as a show of faith so he wouldn't be voted out. To everyone's surprise, he did it, and of course, the Black Widow Brigade sent him home. This won Eric the title of dumbest survivor ever, and we can't really disagree. There's clearly no room for chivalry in a competition show.
You're crazy. You officially go down as the dumbest survivor ever.
Number 2. Sue's Rats and Snakes speech. Survivor Borneo.
I have no questions. I just have statements.
Survivor is a social experiment, plain and simple. In the first season, Survivor Borneo, many viewers assumed that the nicest player, Kelly Wigglesworth, would win. But Sue flipped that on its head when she gave her now famous rats and snakes speech at the final tribal council.
But if I were to ever pass you along in life again, and you were laying there dying of thirst, I would not give you a drink of water. I would let the vultures take you.
She compared Kelly to a rat and Richard Hatch to a snake, and said that ultimately the snake would eat the rat. The speech was pretty hostile towards Kelly and the game as a whole. It was nothing like we'd ever seen on reality TV, which is why it's considered one of the show's watershed moments, and one that made it such a cultural juggernaut.
I feel we owe it to the island spirits that we have learned to come to know, to let it be in the end the way Mother Nature intended it to be, for the snake to eat the rat.
Before we unveil our number one pick, here are some honorable mentions.
But it really doesn't even matter what it says, because I already have the idol. So, might as well just throw it away in the volcano. Bye-bye.
Heidi, you want to do it? Yeah. All right.
Oh, God, why me? Why did I die? I'm not looking. Nope. I gotta stay focused.
Where can I keep my clothes?
I'm looking.
Heidi, just pull your pants down to your ankle.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Where are you
What the hell is going on here, Jeff?
Whoa. What is it?
Oh my gosh.
He's standing right there.
Number 1. Jeff Varner outs Zeke Smith. Survivor Game Changers. Mamnusa Islands.
And one of the reasons why I didn't want to lead with that is I didn't want to be like the trans Survivor player. I wanted to be Zeke the Survivor player.
And you are.
And I feel like I am.
You are.
Players often say and do things they wouldn't in real life to get ahead in the game. But there's no way to justify Jeff Varner outing his fellow contestant Zeke Smith as transgender. In a contentious tribal council, Jeff chose to throw Zeke under the bus by questioning his moral character in the hopes of saving his own skin.
There's more. Continue. Why haven't you told anyone you're transgender?
Jeff told the other tribe members that Zeke was deceitful for not telling them he was trans. The shocked survivors were quick to jump to Zeke's defense, and for that, Jeff was sent home without a formal vote even being cast. It was a truly desperate move on Jeff's part, and something we will never forget.
We don't need to vote. Just grab your torch.
So sad. Jeff can't forget.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo and subscribe for new videos every day.
How people can do this?
Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo and subscribe for new videos every day.
Yeah, this is really crazy. I found something crazy here. Top 10 Survivor moments. I see some exciting things that Survivor are doing very hard, and also that girl who is willing to eat rat and snakes, and one guy apologized another girl, and the girl safe and the boy out. So little bit thing I understand, but it was exciting. Survivors are really doing hard to win the game. It is actually a game show. It's very tough game. So hope that if I will watch in this channel that who wins. So guys, if you like my reaction, then please subscribe my channel, and I will get another video. Till then,